everybody, it's Tony George along with Sean Salisbury, host of the Sean Salisbury Show on iHeartRadio, and of course down there in Houston on a day-to-day basis. Be sure and tune into that. Thumbs up, subscribe, get over there and visit Sean. And Sean, we're going to be talking Knicks and Hawks, but you've been on a hell of a roll here with your free picks, 12-3. And one of the picks we talked about, and one of the series we talked about, the underdog, I just want to give you some props because we talked about Dallas giving the Clippers all they wanted. And they're playing tonight, by the way, down there in Dallas. But, boy, they've just been dominating the Clippers. And I will also pat myself on the back by saying that Tyrone Lue is a piece of crap coach.
Yeah, you've been bothered by your two favorite coaches. You've been bothered by, or the least favorite have been Tyronn Lue and Rick Barnes in college basketball.
Yeah.
And the Rick Barnes thing came to fruition about winning big games, and Tyronn Lue, they're making you wish a little bit for what Doc Rivers is doing with Philly in the East, right? And see, we're so quick, Tony, in sports that we want coaches. It's time to make a change. When it may be just a little adjustment, and if Doc wanted out, I'm talking about an any coach. It's not always that simple as let's just change the coach and our fortunes change. Now, there's been an underachieving on the Clippers. I'll tell you the biggest shocker of that series. It's no shock that Luka Doncic is dominating. I mean, the guy's a phenomenal player. What is the shock is how easy it's coming for him or how easy it appears. I mentioned how I thought Porzingis could have a big say in some of this, and I know you like him too. But the shock is that they rolled into your building and kicked your ass 2 straight games, right?
Yeah.
That's the big meaning, Dallas. Funny. And in the NBA, I mean, it's everybody always gives, home court advantage doesn't matter. All the what do we call it? The load management, screw load management. So I'm tired of load management with baseball players and basketball players. No offense, but if you're healthy and you're a corner outfielder, you should be playing. Okay, I understand if you're hurt. Can you imagine how quickly load management would end if we say, if you decide you're healthy and don't want a player, they rest you, you don't get a salary you don't get a check that day. Okay, so that may be the old get off my lawn guy, but you know what? If get off my lawn guy is show up and play, then I'll be that guy forever. Okay. Now I don't even know why I got off on that tangent. It's just been in my crawl lately because I think and then I think, okay, they carried it over to Kawhi. I'm talking about the regular season. And sometimes it's hard to turn on and off. Now, Kawhi's been phenomenal, as he always is. But the Lakers, some of these teams, play your players, right? In that series, the Clippers are going to get even at some point. I mean, when I say even, they're going to win a game. They're not getting swept. But I'm going to tell you now that they better ramp up the defense. And somehow Kawhi or Paul George better say, enough. I'm not going to worry about the offensive end, meaning I'm going to take care of defense first, and my 24, 25 points will come, or 40 in Kawhi's case, or 41, whatever it is. But if Doncic continues to dominate and you get help from the bench, the Clippers in a 2-0 hole, they're going to have to play great basketball to pick this up. I kind of lean towards them in game 3. In this one, I think they'll rebound because I think good pros do. I don't see a sweep with Dallas. Unlike the other series, I don't think the Clippers are ready to quit. I think when you talk about in the Milwaukee-Miami series, I think that series is done. I think that it's only a formality when it comes to New Jersey, and I think the Celtics have cashed. I think they're finished with that. So I think this series will contend because I think there's a little more. I think Kawhi understands how important it is. They'll get back in it. But I'm telling you, Dallas at the beginning of the year was one of my favorites along with the Suns, and I think they can get through the Clippers. I do.
Yeah, I had Dallas on season win totals that came in. One thing, three things I'll comment about this. Number one is the Clippers miss Doc Rivers, and they miss Lou Williams coming off the bench. Big time miss him. Big time. Second of all, do what got you there. You brung the date to the dance with her. What got you there, Clippers? Defense, one of the best defensive teams in the league. And third of all, if Dallas does win tonight, and we are going to get to the Knicks and Hawks, but if Dallas does win tonight, put a bow on the series. It's over. Because Cleveland's, even if they win a game after this, that series is going to be over. That's my opinion on that game there. And of course, Dallas is laying 2, and the total in that's 219.5 tonight. And my premium play in the NBA is in that game. So be sure and jump over to Docs. I'm on an 8-3 run there in the NBA playoffs. Let's get to the Knicks and the Hawks. And I'll tell you something, Sean, just my first initial reaction I want to get from you was Julius Randle won the most improved player in the NBA this year. Where's he been in this series? Because they haven't looked very good, Sean.
Nah, what do you have? 15 and 12. In game 2, he stepped it up a little bit, but he's going to have to. They need a little bit more out of him, obviously. And
yeah, he didn't even show up till the third quarter, Sean. He didn't even show up till the third quarter of game 2.
Agreed. One thing we know about this team is that they will work on the defensive end, right? Their head coach, that's what he does. And you're going to play a ton of minutes. Keep an eye on the Knicks as the playoffs roll through, Tony. You want to talk about the team that, you know how we have pitch counts? The Knicks don't believe in pitch counts, brother. Their head coach does not believe in that, and they play a lot of minutes. And Derrick Rose has been phenomenal, right? It's really, really impressive to watch. Listen, home court advantage now shifts to Atlanta, right? Best home court team basically the last 25 games in the NBA season. I think, Tony, unless I dreamt this, they were on an 11 or 12 game home winning streak to end the season at home. So they ramped it up at home. They're going to play good basketball at home. I would normally, when I get Atlanta, and I know what Trae Young's all about, and man, he's a better pro than I thought he'd be early on, Tony. I knew he could score, but I thought people would try to beat on him. That kid is phenomenal basketball player. The number, I tend to lean under on this. I do, because I know the pacing of it, and I think that Atlanta, the way they're playing at home, I think they're 5 points to me in any game where they're equal bothers me a little bit, Tony, in the playoffs.
Right.
They're playing well. They're playing well at home. I'm so close. I'm leaning to the number of the under, and that's going to be close too. I like the Knicks in the game. If you give me 5 points, I've probably got to take it, Tony. I think Atlanta's going to win the game if we weren't in a betting talk, because Atlanta right now is as good a team as there is in the NBA at home. I'll take the 5, and I'll take the Knicks. But the Hawks are going to win this game for just people that are fans of the Hawks. But on the betting side, I tend to lean under, and I tend to lean Knicks because the Knicks are going to work their butt off to keep this score inside of 215.
If you absolutely positively think that the Atlanta Hawks are going to win this, either because you're betting with your heart or you're a huge Hawks fan, or you're discounting the Knicks for whatever reason, you got to lay the big chalk and bet them on the money line, because I don't think they're going to cover. It was at 4. It went up to 5. It's being bought back down. I'm looking at the lines right now, down to 4.5. Almost every place you've only got 1.5 left out there. The total is 211. And a couple of things come to mind here. Bear in mind also, Atlanta played to more unders than they did overs at home this year.
No question. That's why I like the under.
Yeah. And the other thing, too, is Collins and Capella haven't even shown up yet. They've been non-factors. They've been non-factors because of the stingy defense that the Knicks play that take them out of their game plan. And I honestly think that's going to happen tonight. And by no means is all of Randall's issues of not stepping up and being the dominant force he has on him. Atlanta's also played some good defense on him and given him some looks and some doubles that he hasn't seen. You know, Nate McMillan has been a hell of a basketball coach this year. He's devised game plans to make this really close. This is a coin flip series. And I'm not going to go back on what I said on our preview in the NBA playoffs we did a couple weeks ago, Sean. I said the New York Knicks getting 4.5 to 5 to 6 points are one of the most dangerous teams to bet against in the playoffs, especially in the Eastern Conference Finals. And I believe it here. This comes down to the wire. I like the Knicks here, slight, but I agree with Sean. This is going to go under 211 night. This has got 102. 98, something like that written all over it in this ball game tonight, folks. There's some great ball games out there to watch, not only tonight, but this weekend. And we appreciate you tuning in. The consensus is under 211 here. He's Sean Salisbury. I'm Tony George. Sean, I want to wish you a great Memorial Day weekend. I'm sure you'll be sitting around maybe cracking the top on one, maybe catching a little Indy 500 this weekend. And, of course, paying respects to all those who stood the wall for us, and so we can enjoy the freedoms that we have. So a big salute to past and present in the military as well.
Yep. And I thank you. Same to you, Tony, and our guy, Doug, and to all of you out there. And we always try to get caught up in all the fun and relaxation and the sun and the good barbecue grilling or going out on the boat and watching ball games. But yeah, the true meaning of this weekend is something that gives us a chance to do those very things. So I appreciate the well wishes. Same to you. And I always say, when you say Happy Memorial Day, it always seems weird to me because it's something that's, but I think they get what we're trying to say. So I wish you the best Memorial Day, and to all those who serve and will continue to serve. Thanks.
Credit where credit is due, folks. He's Sean Salisbury. I'm Tony George. Have a great weekend, and let's get it done tonight in the NBA.